Hey everybody, welcome back. You know, interesting thing, we follow up with that other video. So I'm gonna have to call this one part 2. But anyways, you know, let me dig into some of these trials and tribulations that we're getting ready to come up on. You know, we look at the plagues that are getting ready to hit us. We look at the hatred, it's everywhere. I mean, hatred is just plain hatred. It doesn't matter what skin color you are today, people. Hatred is coming against hatred. And it's going to come to the time where they're going to even come against Christians even more. We've already seen it. We've seen them shooting up churches. We've seen them come against God. And we've seen the very events take place. So, you know, we have to understand that we have to stay strong in God's word. We have to stay strong in what what Jesus came to do, and what God has sent Jesus to do, what Jesus is still doing, that God has given him. Remember, Jesus went where the Father told him to go. Jesus spoke what the Father has told him to speak, and we should be examples of that to a T. It's kind of hard to call ourselves Christians when we don't act like them. It's kind of hard to say I'm being led by the Holy Spirit and put all these godly hands praying, and then you turn around and just do evil. Be careful what your God that you're claiming to serve. And again, people worship Lucifer as a god. Well, again, you don't have to believe it to see it. One thing about hell, it's not prejudice. You're all going to have the same thing in common. Trying to figure out how to get out of there. You're going to rely on each other. No, you won't. Because you'll be in too much pain to even understand what's going on around you. You become every man for themselves, per se. Now you got to understand this. In heaven, everybody gets along. There is no skin color. There is no education. I would go up to the best, smartest, the IQ, the quickest of whatever they claim to have, and ask them a very important question. Are you smarter than Jesus?
Turn left into section.
I'd ask the very most powerful warlock, magician, can you part waters? Now we know in the end time, the Antichrist is going to perform signs and wonders. But you also got to be in the still of the listening and continue to move, which means you got to be able to understand the words that they're speaking, to understand what Lucifer is doing. He's been doing this since the beginning of creation of man. Well, actually, we're going to go back a little bit further. He's been doing it since the creation, because he was a creation, and he hasn't stopped since. But he's been really doing it, I should say, since the deceiving of Adam. Now we know the Lord was the second Adam. God's trying to do it again. After all the things that we have witnessed. You'd think somebody would have listened and learned, but no, we don't listen and learn at all. We just continue on our pathway of self-destruction. You know, let's just fast forward a little bit and think of a world where buildings are blown into. I mean, I drive down the road and I look at houses that people have stripped. I look at a building that used to be a church and people are stripping it down. This is still somebody's property. They're destroying someone's property. But yet, look at the owners. Do the owners even live in the state of Ohio? My thing is, if the building isn't worth that much to you, then give it to somebody. You can stand there and watch that thing get destroyed. Them strip all the copper and aluminum, whatever they can get out of it. But then again, look at the junkyards. You think if someone's bringing that kind of massive of aluminum and stuff down there, it's all the same color, and knowingly right up the road from you, you see a building getting destroyed. I don't know. Evil is just evil. It's amazing sometimes what we do. But each and every day, it's up to us to change. First of all, we got to be changing ourselves. We have to be looking in the mirror and taking a good, hard examination of ourselves. But let me tell you, you see these buildings falling apart around you, you see houses, you see fires. Some will say, well, it was homeless people, well, it was drug addiction people. That could also all be positive. You can be right on the money. Again, the devil has no discrimination. He will use everybody and anybody that's willing to be followed under his traps. And when you think you're getting out, he's getting ready to inject you with some more garbage. And keep you right where he wants you. You know, you look at this event that took place during the Super Bowl. You know, it wasn't a big topic that I know of. I mean, I haven't really heard anybody talking about it. The fact that Alicia Keys fumbled through the song. I just made myself laugh because I said fumble and football. Anyways, but you think about that, not the fact that she came out in all red in a basically a red cloak, cape, in a red piano, not the fact that that was never a topic. But you look at what happened during it. You look at the after effects of the celebration. People got hurt. I know people got killed. I don't know how many the body count was. That's not really important. But I bet you people will comment, not that now that I'm saying it, probably not, but I bet you somebody would have been, oh, it was one, or it was three. Because for some reason we get drawn to that kind of stuff. And that's how Lucifer uses you. Because you're going to find that as a normal. Oh, look at that. Somebody just got shot. Oh, look at that. I'm glad we have food. Because they're over there eating somebody. That's going to be your new normal, people. You think I'm joking? I'm not. Because there's not going to be any animals left. When this nasty plague comes through and it wipes everything out, and your skin starts turning pale white because you've been hiding out indoors, in places, wherever you can get away. When the water all looks like sewage. Good luck drinking that garbage. Maybe some of these big shots that has these filtered cups. Jim Baker. Oh, I drank out of this in Africa. I'd like to see you do it. I literally would like to see you do it. You wouldn't do it. And I sat there and said, if Jim Baker continues to do what he's doing, the way that he did things before, he will be removed. Now look, Jim Baker, I don't know if he started having anxiety attacks or what the whole situation was with him, but he's no longer there. His children are not there. Well, they better be careful because they're going to go down the same pathway as what their dad did. It's not about money. It's not about how much fame and how many likes and how many subscribers you have. Because I'm telling you, that's what half the people care about. It's not about getting God's word out. It's about getting their fame out. I listen to so many of these YouTube channels that do all these pickings and just whatever. Now, they got a reason, because that's how they're making their livelihood. You know, and I've said before, doing these videos, it's a lot of work, people. It's a lot taken into, especially the ones that add pictures, edit stuff, and do the background drops and all that kind of stuff. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with any of that. What I'm saying is, why do you start out one way and then end up another way? That's what I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. Stop being like everybody else and just be who God created you to be. It's unbelievable. Then you get the people that claim to be doing what God has sent them to do, and then you listen to their videos, and I'm going, where is God in any of this? Let me tell you something. If you're watching a video and someone is breaking someone down, there's not much in it. And I know some people may say, well, Nelson, don't you kind of do that? No, I bring examples of my life into stuff. But look at what my ex-wife did, and look what I say also. I pray for her today. I pray for my children. I pray for the people that have falsely accused me. Doesn't mean I stop loving them. It just means I don't have no part for them no more in my life. My youngest daughter, what she did, I love her. And I know some of you may say, well, Nelson's still your daughter. You gotta let if she decides to get. She would have to be going to church nonstop for me to allow her back into my life. And I told her before, you're on a fine line with me. Stop. When you give your mother my number, and then I gotta read all this nonsense that she wanted to put on me. And even spoke stuff about my father that I was there. I remember what he said. She takes it one way, and I'm sitting there, and I thought about the conversation over and over and over. I thought of other conversations over. Now remember, here's the thing. It's not like she was around my dad every day of the week. It's not like she was around my dad on the phone and all this kind of stuff, because she wasn't. It was all about her family. You know, I come to this conclusion in life. I come to the conclusion that all my life I have always done for others. And I've never really cared about what I wanted. My thoughts. I think about my dreams and I think about things that I just go, okay. You know, but when you care enough about somebody else's dreams, that's amazing. Because you see how you're serving God? You're putting yourself last. And I know one day God's going to open up a door that is just going to knock me on my fanny. I don't have any dreams anymore. The dreams I have is what God has given me. Warnings. Glad you asked. Let's get to it. You can have all the arsenal you want. You can put every kind of signs and flares and things going off. You can look like the Rambo movie and stand out in the middle of a field and think that you're going to pick off everything. You can't pick off the devil. You can't stop it. Because when evil's coming, it's coming with a vengeance. Your mere little bullets isn't going to stop it. You may think you are. You can't stop a thief if a thief wants in. You can put every kind of lock you want on just like some trailer doors. We got the locks that slide on both sides of the bars on the trailer doors. And that's supposed to make a thief go, ooh, I'm not messing with this truck. Yeah, they might take a second glance at it, but I would be the one to go, okay, I'm gonna go over there and rip the hinges off. I'm gonna bust the bottom hinges with the crowbar and bend the door enough to where I can get in to get them latches free, and then I'm in. You can't stop a thief if a thief wants in. Now you can slow them down. I seriously doubt if they're trying to be secretive about it, especially at nighttime at truck stops and stuff, they're not going to go to do all that headache of busting up somebody here. Then again, these days you don't know. They got so many battery-powered tools you can use. See, you can eat cricket, I'll tell you what. It's crazy. What's amazing is some of the comments that I read and some of the videos that people send me and I watch. It's amazing. But it's up to you where you're going to go with it, what you're going to do with it. Your best friend can't save you. Your spouse can't save you. Your children can't save you. Although your children can braid your hair. I talked to someone a while back that, like I was saying in the part one of this, that I never thought some of these people would come back in my life. Now remember, I'm a big believer. If it finally happens, God has a reason. Now sometimes you walk away from something going, I rambled on too much, I should have let this person talk. Or it's just not knowing really what to say, so you just ramble on about stuff. But I'm still sitting there wondering, I'm glad because it brought closure to my life. It brought a peace to me. You know, and there's a situation in there about a house that at the time I was renting, I wanted to buy it. And afterwards, over the past, I don't know, God must have blocked a lot of stuff out of my life. And I sat there that day. I went back to the food pantry and was doing stuff there, and just thinking. That whole night, I remember waking up and just thinking about the comment, and I'm sitting there thinking, I did the best I could do. I never wanted to let her down. I never wanted to make her unhappy, nor did I ever want her to spend money to fix something. But when I moved in there was a lot of stuff wrong. It's awesome. But I was working so much, I didn't have time. And some things, it's kind of hard to fix when you have to make an access panel. That's life. Remodeling is difficult. My hat's off to people that live in a house that remodel a home living in it. I wouldn't want to do it. After a while, you become a grumpy bear because you got stuff tore down, you got tarps, you got, it's just a mess. You're running out of money and you're trying to make something look nice. You do the best you can do with what you have. Someone else might not like it. What do you do? You know, I remember using the dishwasher at that time, and it just, the pump was bad. Well, to replace a pump in a dishwasher, sometimes it's almost like you might as well go. I mean, I took the pump out, tried to clean it, thinking something was clogged in it. And it was just a mess. But when I first opened that thing, it was full of food and stunk. It was ridiculous. But you see how we don't look at something that's there, but we use our thoughts, and that's what the devil wants to do. You know, I think back, I made wrong decisions in that time frame. And I've always said, if I could go back and change it, in life, would I do it? I would there. I would. And today I know I would. But I'm grateful for whatever God has done and what He has continued to do. Grateful for all that He has given in this day. What does this have to do with what's coming? You might as well start looking at your lives as what's coming. Everything I speak about, everything I say, there's a purpose. It's the only way that I know to get what I see to you. Videos may not be for any of you. It may be for the people that stumble across it in the last times. To give them that one opportunity to surrender themselves. But hopefully they can do it before Christ comes, because you're not going to make it in the end. You'll end up taking that mark. The sad thing is, I know some of you are probably sitting there going, no, I'm not. If I'm left here, no, I'm not, because I'm going to know for sure. Well, you know for sure right now. I mean, how many videos you got to watch on people going to heaven? How many videos you got to watch about people going to hell? Are they copying it? I think so. Because I know on one particular podcast, I was looking at the comments, and the one person that, a couple of the people in the beginning of it saying, when did you go to heaven? When did you go to hell? When did this happen? And a lot of the stuff he was saying, now granted, people talk the same, we use the same words. But some words just stick out to you going, that's not, I don't even know why I started doing that. I've always done it, but I've just never done it a lot. But, and I never looked it up. I don't even know what it means. It could be that I'm a jerk. I don't know. Sometimes, like I said, my voice, I want to put the word out, and I can't. I used the F-bomb a lot back in the day because I get frustrated, and that word would come out, and I associated that word with being able to finish a conversation, a sentence. I'd get so frustrated that F-bomb would come out, and then I would say whatever I wanted to say. It's crazy. Doesn't doesn't make it right. Then again, we look at it as curse words. We're very hypocritical, judgmental people, aren't we? Did you hear what Jim just said? He said the F word. Did you hear what Mike just said over there? He said the GD word. Instead of going, interesting, your life's a mess, and you want God to bring damnation on top of damnation. Interesting. But instead we go, that's wrong. That's wrong to say that. I'm offended. Well, maybe God's offended by some of the stuff you do. You know, we judge people quicker than what we think we do. We really do. Well, my life is perfect. I am a Christian. Bloody freaking God. I told you it was Christians that made me not want to find Jesus. But there was some very nice Christians. I was thinking last night when I was just laying back there looking at the clock going, I'm going to be exhausted. So I set my second alarm for an hour past my first one. And I'm just sitting there thinking about, and all of a sudden I remember this lady. I used to mow her grass when I worked for a company.
5 miles. To the left.
And
US 35.
I remember one day it was raining. Just wasn't raining real hard, but it just started like raining. And push mower was clogging up, and it was just a mess. So I'm out there getting soaking wet. She walks out and she goes, "Do you have a rain gear?" And I found it funny that she said rain gear, because I've never even heard of somebody saying that before. I've heard of raincoat, rain, the rain pants, rain suit, but never a gear. And I said, no, can't afford it. So she goes back, and she comes back, and she goes, and I remember she said, well, my husband Herman passed away. I said, yes, I recall that. She said, I think he would want you to have it. You were about his size. Then she brings me out these boots, gloves, this duffel bag that had pants in it, jackets, winter coats, winter gloves, winter hats, scarves, ski masks and things. I mean, I was just like, couldn't believe it. And I said, well, I don't have no money. She goes, I didn't ask for money. I just wanted to bless you. I felt God telling me to bless you. Now, back then, I didn't want to hear about God. But I think about it today. Then I think of the day that I had all them holes in my boots going to work. Fall time, water soaking in there, and I was changing my socks like crazy, trying to dry them out as much as I could. And I remember the lady that lived behind us, because I did a good deed. I was just bored, waiting on the person to pick me up. And she gave me a pair of boots that her husband didn't wear. Almost like brand new. Oh my gosh, I was so happy. And they were my size. What's the chances of that? See, it's the little things that we stop doing in life.
2 miles. To the left. US
Yeah, sometimes I buy stuff and I kick myself, and I still kick myself. And then I go into the times when I just feel this is the right thing to do. We may lose money, but somebody else is being blessed. Got a birthday coming up. And I remember Darlene telling me
1 mile.
the Lord told her that he had something special coming.
Last 3 5.
Now sometimes we can jump ahead of time and do stuff that we think. So this opportunity came in, and this guy was selling a lot of vintage Star Wars toys. And as I'm looking at the pictures, and now, granted, it's not complete. I mean, some things are missing weapons, or some of the figures may be missing capes or something, or even some of the play sets may be missing parts. But it was the fact that I looked at it, and all the way out there, I just kept thinking, I don't know if I want to do this.
Stay left.
Because, it's that time of month where bills are due, and you got stuff you got to pay, and I got a car to fix. You think all this stuff would come into the equation? But then all I kept thinking about is going, the things that I talk about, how am I ever going to see God work if I don't allow God to work? It's the interesting. Now the old me would go, and there's no way I'm spending this kind of money when I know this has got to get paid off. This needs paid. I got to get the parts for the car. So I'm sitting here running down this, and I'm going, tapping the money in my pocket, going, oh man. And then I get there. The guy's dogs are out. And I'm sitting there walking around going, I should just leave. I don't feel right about that. I should just go. And then the guy sends me a message. Right when I got back in the truck, he sent me a message. Put the dogs up. I'll be with you. Not that his dogs were mean. He just didn't know what they would do. That's a smart man. If I didn't know what my dogs were going to do, I would not allow a situation to take place that's going to harm someone. If you know the devil's in your house, you don't get the devil out of your house, then you're allowing him to harm your children. Or if you're one of them people that are going to believe because someone's got a degree, well, please tell me what degree Jesus had when he came to earth. What school did he go to? What school did he go to? What school did he send the disciples to? But yet they cast out demons. But yet they were thieves. They were liars. They denied him. We can go down the list, people. But the more I sat and talked to him, whether he's telling me the truth or not, that's between him and God. Whether or not you serve God or not, everything you do is still between you and God. Eventually, you're going to stand in front of Jesus, and judgment will be over you. If you pass away before his receiving of the Christians. Not the second coming, the receiving part. What Revelation speaks, he was standing on the clouds. After that, it's a straight judgment. There is no going to a courtroom and saying, well, God, you know, I took that gun because I wanted it. I was trying to protect myself. And because of the times and all the stuff that was going on, you know, I didn't want to tell my kids no because my parents told me no. Well, maybe they told you no for a reason. It's not going to be where you're going to plead your case. You're just going straight to hell, people. And you can't even blame God for it. You can't be mad about it. You're going to blame yourself because that's who you need to blame. You need to start blaming yourself now. And stop with this nonsense. Like Darlene and I was talking about last night. She was talking about a video and I said, yeah, I agree with her. Because we speak so much stuff into the devil's hands. You know, I remember when the Lord says, when you say, I have a headache, or I am going to do this, or I am sick. The Lord says, well, bring me into it. How then, Lord? I am sick, but I'm waiting to see how the Lord's going to heal me. See, now you just put Jesus in place. You put faith in place, and you defeated the devil. Because you put Jesus first, you put faith in there, and the devil doesn't have a stronghold. But if you say, I am sick, and that's all you say, some people ask, well, what's wrong with you? What's going on? And then you start telling them. Now, people, you got to be very careful how you ask a question. Because if you're asking someone like me, I'm going to give you the best way that I can describe what happened, how it happened, and what over the years of events that took place. Because I want you to understand why I went through what I went through. And why I'm going through what I'm going through today. I don't want you to assume something. I want you to know why. Because in the end, God is getting glory. Because I'm telling you right now, I should not be able to walk. I should be in a wheelchair. I shouldn't even be here on this earth. I should be in hell, is where I should be. But God spared me by the blood of His Son. It's amazing. It's amazing how we can sit there and look at life. But look how many attacks are happening around the world. Look how many demonic people are being controlled by the demonic. Look how many oppressed people are right now. I'm telling you, there's going to be a lot of people bleeding. All the years I've drove down this road, I have to look over in the woods, and I've never seen that little cabin in the woods. Huh. Right there. Things that I've missed year after year after year because I could have been frustrated coming through here, could have been tired, could have been mad, could have just not been caring about anything. Today I'm just glanced over and go, look at that. That's amazing. Then the next thing goes, I wonder how they get power. I wonder if they got solar. And then I wonder if it's this or that. And then I think about, they didn't have all that nonsense. But yet that house still stands. Isn't that something? Our lives can stand and mean something for doing the right things. Instead, we're complaining too much. We want too much. We don't even know what we want, what we're capable of wanting. All we know is we got to have the modern technology, the best of the best, biggest screen TVs we can possibly get. Now, I do got to admit, and I'm not coming against anybody that wants a big screen TV, because I got a big screen TV. Praise God that He allowed us to get it. See right there, I am allowed us to have a bigger TV. What's big screen? Well, what might be big to us, we go into somebody big athlete's house and they got a 90,000 screen thing that drops down, and you can look at yours and go, yeah, mine seems like a little 20-inch TV. Really, to be honest, if you have a 60-inch TV, and if you got the old school tight flat screen ones where you got the strip around it, you probably got about a 61, 62 maybe. Today's TVs, they're all in some kind of backing. But if you actually measure the screen from where that bracket is, you know, the box frame basically, you measure from there to the other plastic piece, that's just the screen. I guarantee you, it ain't no 65 or it ain't no 70, because you got, it's like measuring your floor. If you go to where the molding is on the floor, and you're measuring your hallway to put carpet or something down, or whatever you're going to do, and all of a sudden you're measuring it and you're going, I thought the hallway was 32 and it's only coming up 29 and a half. Well, that's because you got some wood against wood against your walls. Get over a little bit there, big boy. I gotta go put my CBD in here. I don't like passing oversized loads without trying to get a hold of somebody and let them know I'm coming up on them. I don't like people getting into dark places unless I give them a warning. I was speaking with a lady and her child not too long ago, and the place that she's at, you know, my thing is too, you gotta be careful when you remove stuff from people, because the demons are gonna let them see that as punishment. And sometimes we do it. We'll hold things against them. I think of Darlene's granddaughter, Chloe. Her mom would take stuff for her for forever. I mean, for like a Nintendo Switch that she liked to play. Grounded. Well, one daughter said something about she's still grounded from the Switch. But they were talking about playing the Switch. And still can't play her because she's grounded from it. But yet she sits in a room and plays it herself. She's got it. Unbelievable. And I'm sitting there thinking, you know, I discipline my kids and I give them a time frame. There was a situation that came that I ended up, like I said before, I ended up in court. And then when I started telling the judge and stuff, I'm going, well, hold on a minute. You know, I understand that he didn't get a time frame. But then they broke this rule. And then when I'm trying to figure out the punishment, because there's 4 of them, then they come up with this. And the next day, this. And then the next day, this. I said, for crying out loud, I'm doing the best job I can do. Because it ain't quick enough for them to know, but yet I'm the bad person. That's what amazes me. I asked to see my grandson the other day, and the only thing my son replied back was, maybe we all can get together. Well, that'd be nice. But it's like my grandson's not even allowed to come over to the house. You know, just done. Just done. And I gotta watch too, people, because I know I can go into a deep place if I don't watch and be in the still and listen and hear. But I gotta keep moving. If I stop moving, there's no principle, no purpose, no plan. How can God use me? He can't. How can God use you today if you're not willing to go to prayer? You're not willing to go there. But when these signs start unfolding and food costs go up, fuel costs go up, and you're not thanking Him for giving you the finances, and I don't give a crap if you go to work and you work 80 hours a week. What do you want me to do? Pity you? About time somebody gives it to you the way you should be getting it. No. I look at the times that I worked. It was crazy. All the hours on the weekends I put in. But yet people wanted to point fingers and say, well, this was never here. Well, who the hell was doing the work? I was there. I was there on the weekend scrubbing out pig roasters to return it. But I watched everybody else take PTO time and days off and time away. And I was there working. What about the long drives I took to go buy stuff for the facility? I didn't get paid for those. And that's why I say what I say. Sometimes I think I did stuff because I felt at least somebody needed me. See how the devil works, people? Let's get Nelson. He'll do it. Nelson will do everything. Let's have Mike. He likes it. He likes it. It's amazing how I start looking at things. Pantry, the freezers. It's like I said, power goes out, I'm cooking up the meat that I have first. Whatever starts up thawing, I'm cooking. And I'm not opening that stuff. And I know some people may make a joke about the very things I say. Or am I falsely accusing someone? Because I can take it that way. Because the way that they said it is kind of the way that I brought it into the video that I did. See, when you start bringing someone else's life picture. They don't like it, so there isn't much people can say about me, because I've already told you. I've told things on these videos that nobody's ever even heard before. Because I know how the devil works. The devil's going to go into every part, every piece of closet you have that you try to hide. Or go deep down in that basement, or go way up in that attic. And he's going to use everything he can. But if you already have it out there, it's kind of hard now, isn't it? Say what you will. Do it. Get it over. Because when the end times come, your guns isn't going to work. Making a fire out in the desert isn't going to work. You go cooking out in the desert in the middle of the night, you're going to have every kind of animal under the sun drawn to you. Smell and sound travels, people. Not only that, you got light. It's not going to be too hard for somebody to go, what's that light now? Let's go investigate. What you think you have is an assault rifle. When you got a bunch of assault rifles staring right at you, what are you going to do? You're going to lay your gun down. That's what you're going to do. No, I'm down. I'm going to fire back at him. I'm going to take him out. I'm Rambo. Man, I'll stop watching movies. I can see why my dad was always upset when I watched Rambo. Because he faced that nonsense. Or you got Chuck Norris, which I was a big Chuck Norris fan because I liked the karate movies and stuff he did. You got Chuck Norris going in there and rescuing POWs. Right. And why didn't these guys go over there and do it all by themselves and stand out there? Or you see them getting cut with knives across their chest, them stitching themselves up. Come on, man. Even that, some of that stuff, I'm going, give me a break. I don't give a rat's how freaking much training you had and how bad you think you are. You get cut with a freaking knife across your chest, or you rip your arm open, and you're just gonna grab a freaking needle and piece of thread out of your dang on survival knife, and you're just gonna stitch that up yourself? Right. I mean, it's Hollywood. If you go into it thinking it's real, you're in trouble. You're not going to stand out there in the middle of a field, wide open, and just stand there with some big, heavy machine gun off of a Jeep or a tank or something. Or even these helicopters, like you see Arnold grab guns out of there, and he just stands there with a cigar in his mouth and feeds a line of bullets. Right. But when you're watching as a kid, you believe it. When you listen to Lucifer long enough, you believe it. People we're already to a point in life where we go, I got enough to put gas in the car. I got enough to, well, I don't know. Don't know if I necessarily going to need, well, geez, I really do need this so I can make this dinner. Well, I'm going to make a lot of spaghetti soups, make it stretch for a few days. I know they're going to complain, but at least I got food. Because we complain about everything. I don't want leftovers again. Okay. Sorry about your luck. That's a good place for that conference to sit, because right in the sun. You're coming up with a 60-mile-an-hour zone. You can't see the signs, you can't see nothing. The sun's right in your eyes. And I'm looking, I just have to look down, I'm doing 64. Well, Nelson, don't worry, they gave me 5 miles over. Ah, that's rule. No, it's not. What's the speed limit? 60. I'm going 61, he can pull me over. And I really, there's nothing I can say. I can say, well, I thought we get 5 miles. Where does it say that? That's the case, then they should put a sign, 60 to 65. You choose. We break more laws than what we know we break. We break a lot of God's laws. We think it's great. No, I was not trying to rhyme there, but I think I just did. But either way, I do not like green eggs and ham. Sam, I am. If you've never been hungry, people, you cannot say what you would do or not do to survive. Tell me. It's amazing what you will do to survive. Well, more on this I want to get into, but it's got to be pushing close to the hour mark. And looking at the reviews and stuff on how long people watch videos on the channel, anything over 45 minutes, I don't know if people's even finishing or if they're just fast forwarding through something they thought I've already heard him speak about this, fast forward it, but you always can be missing something. Like I tell my wife, you've heard a lot of it, because I tell her a lot of the dreams and the visions. There's times in there where the Holy Spirit just takes over, and you might just be missing something. But either way, God bless you guys. Until the next one.